Stephen A. Smith really pissed me off. And the reason he pissed me off was because he hit me. He's like, yo, it's been hard for a lot of us to talk about you these last few days. And, for me, I'm like, okay, it's been hard for me to watch, but I'm watching it because I want to see everything that everybody has to say. I know you got a job to do. I know you got to do your thing and say what you got to say, but at not one point did you say, well, y'all are saying this person is up and this person need help. Now, I know the person. Say what you want about the basketball player, that's fine. But I know the person. And by the way, it just wasn't him. To sit back and see those that claim to know and appreciate me as a human being just flow with the narrative because it was easy to do, I lost a lot of respect for a lot of people.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airways of YouTube. That was Draymond Green a couple of weeks ago. Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors on the big podcast hosted by Shaquille O'Neal. During the interview, you heard him express his disappointment that, in terms of his feelings, that I never stood up for him during the times he's gotten himself into trouble on the basketball court, or at least that one particular time. I took exception to that because in my mind, I've been one of the few in the media who's repeatedly come to Draymond's defense when others haven't. Last night, Draymond was on TNT's Inside the NBA, and he took the time to say this. He said, quote, "I said something that didn't come out the way I meant it, so I want to apologize to Stephen A. Smith. I said it publicly. I want to apologize publicly. The way I meant for it to come out, it didn't. So I was wrong for that. I do apologize. I'm not the most sentimental figure in the world. I ain't gonna front. But it meant a lot to me that Draymond did that. And I really, really appreciate it. And I'm very grateful to him that he was classy enough to do that, that he's the Draymond Green that I know and love. And, when he did it, it shocked me, it surprised me, but it meant a lot to me because Draymond Green means a lot to me. When you cover sports, everybody tries to act like you're supposed to have this neutral position at all times. And I have a philosophy that I have religiously held on to my entire career. I'm very objective and neutral when it comes to your performance, not to who you are. If I don't know you, I don't know you. But if I know you and you mean something to me, you matter more than somebody that I don't know that doesn't mean as much to me. And when I thought about what Draymond said, the relationship that I have with Draymond Green, who knows when we'll talk again. He's busy, I'm busy, and, he probably still is upset in his own way, even with the apology, and I respect that. And I firmly believe I didn't really do anything wrong because I've always spoken up for him. It's just that after the Rudy Gobert and then the Yusuf Nurkic slap inside of a month, there's but so much defending you can do when you're always coming to the defense of somebody. But as I watched him last night, giving that apology, I didn't feel this need to pat myself on the back like, yeah, I was right. I felt humbled because I started thinking about Allen Iverson. And I remember when I was in Philadelphia writing for the Philadelphia Inquirer, and Allen Iverson had gotten himself into some issues with the 76ers, his second stint with the 76ers. And I had to write a column about Allen Iverson getting himself in trouble. And basically, I didn't give 99% of the details. I basically just said, you can't be out partying and drinking. And Allen Iverson was so furious and was so hurt. We didn't talk for almost 2 years. And by this time, he had left the NBA, but he was living in Atlanta. And I was hearing stuff like, yo, man, it's so bad that if y'all run across one another, it's going to be volatile. And when I heard that, I contacted a couple of my boys. And I told them to meet me in Atlanta because I was flying down. Because the truth of the matter is, and it's something that I never really talk about, I have boys everywhere. So it ain't a city that I have any reason to be hesitant to go to if I need to go there. And when I went there, we finally, Gary Moore made sure Allen Iverson was there. Me and my boys, Mark Stevens and a few others, made sure we were there. And me and Allen sat down. Me and AI sat down. And within 2 minutes, he silenced me. Because I was busy trying to explain, what did I do wrong? And he says, Stephen A., I don't give a shit about none of that. People have said 100 times worse about me than what you wrote. It wasn't what you said. It was that it came from you. And at that moment, I realized more was expected of me because I knew him in ways he didn't allow most people to know him. And when I saw Draymond last night apologize on national television to me, and I thought about what he said and how it had piggybacked off of what Kenny Smith said and what Charles Barkley had said, it was like a flashbulb lit up in my head, where that essentially was what Draymond was saying. I know him in ways most people in the media do not know him. I know what was going on with Draymond Green when he hit Jordan Poole. I know what was going on in Draymond Green's life when the Rudy Gobert situation happened, when the use of Nurkic stuff happened. I know what was going on in Draymond Green's life at some of his high moments and some of his low moments, because he's allowed me to know him in ways that most people do not. And that's what he was talking about. And I didn't see it until he apologized last night. When he was going off on Shaq's podcast about how he was pissed off, my initial reaction was, what the hell are you talking about? Been defending you for years. What the hell are you talking about? When KD sat up there after you slapped Nurkic and he was like, I hope you get the help he needs. I called out KD, who I love, because I was like, what the fuck wrong with you? You don't do that to a black man. You don't do that to him. You know what anger management and, mental stuff and what that connotates and how they'll depict us as black men when you do that. You don't do that, KD. I remember saying that. But that particular day, where Jay Williams and others was going at Draymond, I couldn't defend Draymond because another incident had happened. And I looked at him apologizing last night, and I said, that's what he was talking about. It was AI. Just what AI was talking about. And so, lesson learned. I can sit here and look at Draymond Green apologizing to me, but the reality of the situation is, as grateful as I am that he apologized, because I have defended him on an inordinate amount of occasions, the bottom line is I saw a brother that knew that I knew him, that knows that I know him, that was expecting more of me in that moment. I understand. And he had a point, which is why I immediately went on X and I said, not only do I accept your apology, I apologize for anything that I may have done. I'm not perfect, y'all. I just strive to be. And I know that regardless of how some people may feel about me, my heart's in the right place and I try to do the right things. I don't betray people's trust. I don't betray people. I'll tell you where I stand. I ain't moving from that. And if I'm right, I'm not budging. But if I'm wrong, if modifications or alterations need to come along with my take on a particular something, I accept it. I get it. And I just wanted to say that about Draymond. We are pretty close. We have been. And there's things that he's let me know about him and his life that you will never hear. Same as AI, you will never hear, because I don't break those trusts. They ain't happening. But I understood where he was coming from. I still contend I've defended and defended and defended him. But when he was talking to Shaq, and when he was saying I really pissed him off, and I was the name he called by name, there's only one reason my name came up. Because he expected more from me. And he felt I let him down. If I can't own that, then I'm not being the Stephen A. y'all know me to be. So that's the situation. And move on from here. And we all need to do better. We can talk about sports, we can disagree, we can do a lot of different things. But if you can't man up to your mistakes, you ain't a man. And that's why I'm owning up to whatever mistakes I may have made. And I applaud Draymond Green for doing the same. I love that brother. I believe in him. I believe he's going to be a star in this business when his career is over. But he still got some playing days ahead of him and some games to win. I wish him nothing but the best always, no matter how often or how infrequent we talk. I'm always have love for that brother. That's where I'm at with it.